If you are a guy and you are friend zoned by a girl, what you have to understand is that a girl will give you a very small window to make it out of the friend zone. And if you don't take that shot when she gives it to you, if you don't take that chance, you're cooked. It's game over. You're in the friend zone for life, buddy. Probably won't tell you she's giving you that window, but she might be acting a little bit different towards you. She might be a little bit flirtier. She might just change her energy towards you, and you have to read that. And if you don't take it, she's probably not going to give you another chance. If you were a girl's friend, she will have this very small window where she will start to think, maybe, like, I don't know, like, maybe I could see it, you know? They start to think a little bit, and they try to convince themselves, maybe I could be into him in that way. One time when I was in high school, I literally waited after a football game for this guy for like over an hour. It was an away game, and the cheerleaders made it back to the school first, and so I texted him being like, hey, let me know when you make it back to the school, and I was waiting there in my car for him. I didn't tell him I was waiting there for him, but I was literally sitting in my car listening to music and thinking maybe like when he makes it back, we could like hang out in the car for a little bit and like talk. And I was thinking like maybe if he tries kissing me, then like I'll know if I'm into him in that way. This had been a little bit flirtier between us for like a few weeks, and so I definitely like that window was open, but I left that opportunity. I was like, I'm waiting in my car for him. He like maybe if something happens between us, like I'll know.
Ho, ho! Fiction can be fun.
So a woman will give you a chance to get out of the friend zone. Let this gorilla use his above average womanese translator to help you guys out with that. Translation. After Chad/Tyrone laid some monster pipe, rearranged her guts and power drived her through the mattress, then he just ghosted her like Casper. Her mind is running quicker than a hamster on a wheel. She doesn't know what to do. She's totally confused. She has doubts about herself, so her self-esteem just drops straight to the floor. Basically, where she's got you leveled at in the friend zone. And now she looks at you as, I'm trying to convince myself to like him. Maybe that'll help me bounce back. And let's make this clear. That doesn't mean that she's giving you a chance to have a relationship. She's just giving you a chance to hit it for a while so she can get that dopamine hit of somebody wants her. And of course, most of us already know that the blue pill beta simps who are in the friend zone thinking, oh yeah, maybe she's going to give me that shot. That's what they're waiting for. I.e., they're hoping to pick up the player's sloppy seconds. I mean, this Colleen story about, oh, I was in the car waiting for this guy. Hopefully he'll make his move. Then I'll know. I'll be sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's leaving out a lot of details from that one. I mean, I have to question. What happened before that got you in that headspace to say, well, let me give this guy a chance. This buddy. Maybe I'll know. But I gotta say to those of you who are new to this channel, if you guys are in the friend zone with a girl and you've been wanting to be with her and she doesn't want to be with you and you haven't figured it out, take this with a grain of salt. If you like, it's your choice, but if she wanted you, she would have had you already. If you gotta put up with all this BS just to have a small window of her, like she said, with the bread split wide open and it's gonna be stuffed with extra mayonnaise.
Like, then I'll know if I'm actually attracted to him or not. Anyways, I waited in my car for over an hour and I didn't see the other bus pull in or whatever, so I was just like, I'm going home. Drove home, and then I get text from him like an hour later being like, hey, sorry, my phone died. I had to take so-and-so home, which was another cheerleader. That was his neighbor. Right at that moment, I slammed the door shut and was like, that opportunity is no longer on the table at all. Not gonna see him that way in any way, shape, or form. I knew he had liked me for years, and again, I had friend zoned him. I opened that door for just a small sliver of a second for a few weeks, and he didn't take the right chance, and so I closed it. I had no idea I waited for him for like an hour or that any of that was like going on in my head. I just was like, that was in my head, and I left the opportunity and he didn't take it. And that's what a girl will do. She won't tell you. She's just might be a little bit flirtier with you. She might leave hints in other ways where she's opening that door for you to make a move. And if you don't take it, if you screw it up, if you go, I don't know, talk to some other girl, whatever, she's done. She's not gonna think of you in that way anymore. You're gonna stay in the friend zone. Girls, if you agree with this, let me know.
Well, gentlemen, if you can't figure out that women that have you in the friend zone saying that they give you a small chance to get in there is based on a lot of BS, after this story, I don't know what else I can tell you. I mean, she said herself at the beginning, oh, we give you a small window to get in there and get out of the friend zone. If you don't take advantage of it, well, then it's closed forever. And in her story, the guy wasn't even there. She decided in her brain, well, let me sit in this car and bam, this is his chance. He better come. And because the guy went and took his neighbor home, oh, I'm shutting that door forever. Do you see how ludicrous it is for you to keep putting up with this BS and keeping yourself in the friend zone for a woman. A couple of videos ago, I talked about women keeping you in the friend zone. I read those onesie-twosie comments about guys saying, well, you know, I have female friends. Those onesie-twosie examples, congratulations. You're the exception to the rule. If what I say applies 80% of the time, applause. There you go. You're part of the 20%. You got a rare case on your hands, and you should enjoy it. But unfortunately, the vast majority of the men are not you. The other 80% have got to deal with these kind of things all the time. And this gorilla's here for them. And I'll go a little bit further and say something else. And this is going to be a little bit controversial, but gentlemen, if you met a woman, if your intention was to be with her, either temporary, situationship, or relationship, and wherever you fall in that spectrum, that's not buddy-buddy, and she puts you in the friend zone, please don't think they're going to change anything around. Just walk. Go. Unless, of course, you like to play psychoanalyst and he'll hear everything she has to say. In other words, you're going to give up girlfriend emotional support benefits, while at the same time you're not going to get much back. But hey, if you're a glutton for punishment, go at it. I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy those nights when she comes over to visit you. Her hair's all messed up. She smells like another dude's cologne. She's walking kind of funny. And then she starts crying on your shoulder that she got alpha widowed. And you're supposed to play emotional support pillow now. Good luck with that. Moving on.
Dating in your 30s is basically meeting a cute guy, kind of having a vibe with him asking for your number, then asking you on a date, you saying, yeah, sure, why not? And then right before the date and the entire day leading up to it, you dying to cancel because you just showered and you just want to get in bed and watch Housewives and never speak to this random stranger ever again. But instead, you put on your mascara, you go meet up with him for hot chocolate from Earth Cafe. I don't know. I said I was going to do dry January today as maybe a potential get out of the date card. And then he's like, no, I don't drink, period. So now we're getting cookies and hot chocolate. But yeah, that's being 30.
Oh, for you.
Oh, my queen, that's dating at 30? I mean, what did you expect? Every time you make a date with a guy, there's some trumpets are supposed to sound, the lightning crashes and the thunder rolls, and all of a sudden, wow, you gave some lucky guy a break. You gave him the opportunity to date you, the ultimate prize, the one who's got less than 15% of her eggs left, the one who's about to smash through the wall, the one who's seeing all her other friends get married except her, the one who's got standards sky high, but has very little to offer. I mean, what exactly do you expect at 30? This is a good question. For some odd reason, women believe that they age like fine wine. I mean, in that spectrum, I would agree that you turn into vinegar. Yeah, there's no doubt about that one. But exactly how do these women believe that their dating lives in their 30s is going to be better than their dating lives in their 20s? There really isn't a logic to this one. I'm sorry, ladies, but your emotions don't go together like Lego pieces. At all. If anything, it's a jigsaw puzzle of a yellow flower, but the picture says that it's a desert. And you expect men to sit down and piece it together. Nah, they have better things to do. So, sweetheart, go enjoy those cookies. I mean, be sure to order some oatmeal raisin cookies so you can pair your eggs with those raisins. Moving on.
So what is an appropriate age gap with an older man? Let's say he's in his 50s or 60s wanting to date younger, or just age gap in general. I want to give you some insights into how a woman thinks about this. Of course, there are exceptions to every rule. Please don't come out at me in the comments saying, well, we're 25 years apart and we're 30 years apart. I'm like, good for you. But the vast majority of women, let me tell you, there are some women, it's just about money. They don't care, right? Like, it's fine. You could be on your deathbed and be a viable option. But most women, this is the number one thing that they think about when it comes to age gap relationships. Is that, okay, it may not be a big difference now. It may not be as big of a difference now. But what happens when I am 60 and he is 80 and he's in a nursing home and I still have a good 20, 30 years left on this planet? I spent all of my good years with him or I spent all of that time dedicating myself to that relationship, and now who's going to want me at the ripe old age of 60? Now, at that point, a lot of women are like, who cares? Men, after menopause, whatever.
Sucks to be you.
Hey, you know what? Fair is fair. This girl is going to say it. This is a factor that some women will think about. What happens when I turn 60 and he is 80? But there's a reality here. If you marry the guy and you take care of him, chances are when he passes away at 80, yes, you might find yourself alone. But the bigger thing that most of you queens are always worried about is your retirement is guaranteed. There's a good chance if you were a good wife that he's going to leave you a good chunk of change in your retirement. Number one. Number two, who's going to want you at 60? How about widowers who are 60? I know there's not that many of them, but the point is you can either go into retirement age with nothing or go in retirement age with something. And a guy who's in his 80s, who's well off, you married him with a big age gap, and then the higher power takes him away. Understandable, but he left you something. And let us not act like emotions are everything. The emotions are the most important things that are going to last the test of time. Nah, sister. When women turn 60, they're not thinking about, oh, how about my feelings? They're thinking, oh, my retirement. So if you're a widow at 60 and an 80-year-old guy left you enough retirement money to last you 20 more years, then your emotional state is a minor thing. It's a minor infraction. It's an option that you could work on later. Now this gorilla will admit that, hey, you know what? Dating as a grandma is not the grandest of things. Understandable. But this gorilla has always said that a widow gets a pass on several things with me. Now I've had some of my viewers comment that, hey, I shouldn't give as many passes to widows as I do because they've dated widows and there's a different type of baggage that comes with that. I understand that, but still, it wasn't their fault. But let's hear what else this queen has to say.
But there's also some other factors that come into play. What is her dad going to think? What is her family going to think? What if you're the same age as her father? So I'm not saying that it's really, any age gap is really acceptable. But if you are a 50-year-old man and you're going after a 25-year-old woman and there's really no interest or she's not reciprocating, you could have all the money in the world. You could have all the charisma, all of the class, everything that you want to bring to the table. And there are still things that are happening in her brain that won't allow her to have attraction towards you. I think 10 years seems to kind of be the magic number. And if you talk to a lot of guys, many of you will come into the comments and say, why would I want to date somebody who is like a kid? What would we have to talk about? What do we have in common? I mean, if somebody doesn't, I just talked to a kid the other day who was in his 20s and he didn't know what Seinfeld was. I said, I'm sorry, what? That's a cultural imperative. It's a, how does that even happen? But it's happening. God forbid. It's going to happen. So I don't know, just take that into account, that not all women are going to be impressed by your money and your monetary status. Like, they really do want to fall in love and grow old with their person. And if you're 20, 30 years older, that's going to be a really hard thing for them to do.
All right, these are fair points. So I think that we should address each question that she had individually. The first question she had is, what is her dad going to think about her dating a man who's much older than that? You know what this girl is going to say? That's actually a respectable question. But at the same time, the question would be, are her dad and her mom the same age? I mean, it's possible that her dad is like 10 to 15 years older than her mom. So that is applicable on an individual aspect. And that flows into the next question is, what is her family going to think? The importance of that one is actually a lot lower, to be honest with you, because her immediate family, as in her siblings and maybe her mom or whatever, they're going to have their own issues. They're probably going to be too busy with their own problems to gossip about her. So it's really like, okay, what is next? The other question she had is, what if you are the same age as her father? Again, that falls into the first question. How much older is her father from her mother? That would soften the blow significantly. The reason I say this is because I understand what this queen is saying, but she's kind of treating the age difference like it's a very recent, very common thing. Actually, generations ago, the age difference was much wider, and it was accepted to a certain point. So recent social constructs don't apply. There is a sliding scale as to the age difference between men and women, so keep that in mind. But I think more importantly is the point that she made about younger women not reciprocating the feelings that older men may have for them, because a guy who's in his 60s, let's say, dates or marries a woman who's in her 40s, and I'm pretty sure the Passport Bros would probably agree with what I'm about to say. They're very conscious that, hey, these women are loving me for the resources I give them. And even though the emotions I'm going to get, they may not be legit, but at least I get something. The only thing I have to say to this queen is, I understand where you're coming from, but you're seeing this all from the female lens. If you would see this from the male lens, as in men are so used to being the workhorses, they're used to sacrificing themselves for women who don't appreciate them. The way they're seeing it is, okay, so you're telling me the young women are not going to appreciate me as much as a woman in my own age is not going to appreciate me? They're all going to see me as an ATM, a retirement plan? Well, I might as well get the best I can out of this, right? Inverse hypergamy. Let me get something that's younger, wetter, and tighter. I mean, I don't care how old the guy is. I don't think he wants to chew on roast beef for the rest of his life.
Now that's a lot of damage!
I'm just saying, if you enjoy this audit, click on the video in the end screen for more content. If you would like to support the channel, please follow the link in the description to donate to our beer fund. Or like, subscribe, and share this video on other social media platforms. If you agree or disagree with anything about this audit, please let us know in the comments. I'm going to leave this audit right here. I'll see all of you in the next episode.